In one of the upscale neighborhoods, there lived a married couple who, to the outside world, seemed to be at the peak of happiness. The wife was a strong, independent woman with a prestigious job, while her husband had once been an ambitious man. But he lost his job due to a crisis, and slowly, things began to change between them. At first, the husband was frustrated, but kept trying to find a new opportunity. However, as time passed, he began to give up. He stayed at home, jobless, completely dependent on his wife, who was constantly traveling due to her work. Every time she came home, she would find him in the same spot, aimless, ambitionless, just an angry man picking fights for no reason. But what the wife didn't know was that her husband was hiding a dark secret. In his loneliness, he began chatting online with a girl he met on the internet. She was beautiful, cheerful, and knew how to play with words. She made him feel like he was still the strong man everyone admired. Gradually, he grew emotionally attached to her. Instead of searching for a job, he spent his time talking to her, meeting her secretly, exchanging warm words he no longer heard from his busy wife. But things didn't stop there. One day, while his wife was on a business trip, he decided to take the risk even further. He invited the girl to his home, the home that was bought with his wife's money, the same home that once stood witness to their love. When the girl rang the doorbell, he greeted her with a smile he hadn't worn in ages. She entered the house as if it belonged to her. Her eyes were filled with temptation, and she moved through the home as if she were his real wife. Unforgettable moments. An unbelievable surprise. They wasted no time. They sat together, laughed, drank coffee. As time passed, the boundaries blurred, and they began to approach red lines. There was nothing stopping them. His wife was away, and no one would know what happened behind these walls. Or so he thought. In a moment of weakness, just as everything was going as he wanted, the door suddenly knocked. He froze. The girl looked at him in panic. "Who's that? Could it be your wife?" "No, impossible. She's not due back for 2 more days." He tried to ignore the knock, convincing himself it was just his imagination. But the knocking grew louder and more insistent. Someone was determined to enter, and before he could even think, the door quietly opened, and there she was. His wife stood in front of them. He froze, blood turning to ice in his veins. The girl beside him trembled, searching for any escape. His wife looked at them. She didn't need an explanation. What she saw was clearer than any words. But the biggest shock wasn't her sudden return. It was something else entirely. She didn't scream. She didn't break down. She didn't lose her temper. Instead, she gave a sarcastic smile, pulled out her phone, and played a video in front of his eyes. "You thought you were smart?" she said in a calm but contempt-filled voice. She pressed play, and the shocking footage began. The security camera in the bedroom had recorded everything. Every word, every touch, every act of betrayal, all captured in audio and video. The husband stood stunned. He thought he was in control. But in reality, he was just a pawn in a game he didn't even know existed. "I wanted to be sure. And you didn't disappoint," she said. Then, she threw the wedding ring in his face. In that moment, the husband collapsed. He knelt at her feet, begged, tried to explain, to fabricate any lie that might save him. But it was useless. "You're finished, as far as I'm concerned." She picked up her bag and left the house without looking back. And he remained standing there, powerless. He knew his life had shattered in a single moment. Regret was not enough. The chance was lost. Days passed. The husband lived in a spiral of pain. He hadn't realized that the betrayal, which seemed like a moment of false pleasure, would destroy everything. As for the wife, she moved past the pain. And after a while, she met someone who truly deserved her, someone who appreciated her worth. She married a righteous man who made her truly happy. As for the husband, he remained alone, drowning in regret, knowing that betrayal gave him nothing but loneliness and a loss that could never be undone. Betrayal begins with a moment of weakness, but it destroys an entire life. So don't think that deception will go unpunished.